My name is not important, but what I'm about to tell you will stay with you long after you hear it. It begins on a quiet Sunday morning in the city of Lagos. The streets were still damp from last night's rain, and the scent of wet dust rose with every step I took. Somewhere in a modest apartment building, a young woman named Imani sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the pregnancy test in her trembling hands. Please click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my stories. Let's go. 2 bold lines. She was pregnant. Her heart pounded as if it wanted to break free from her chest. Her mind raced to Michael, the man she loved, the man who had promised her forever. He had always been charming, too charming. And now, she had no idea how he would react to the news. The clock ticked louder than usual. The air felt heavier. When she finally built the courage to call him, her voice shook. Michael, I need to see you. It's urgent. He sounded distracted. I'm busy right now, Imani. Can it wait? No, she whispered. It's about us. Hours later, they sat facing each other in his living room. She held his gaze, tears forming at the corner of her eyes. I'm pregnant, Michael. The silence that followed was deafening. His face shifted, not with joy, not with fear, but with something colder. Pregnant, he repeated, as though the word was poison in his mouth. She nodded, searching his face for warmth. Instead, his jaw tightened. You have to get rid of it. Her breath caught. What? Michael leaned forward, his tone sharp. I'm not ready for this, Imani. You know my plans. I can't have a child ruining them. It felt like the floor had disappeared beneath her. She thought he loved her. She thought they were building a future together. But now, all she saw was a stranger sitting before her. When she refused, his voice turned cold as steel. Then you have to leave my house. And that was it. He stood, opened the door, and gestured toward the street. The rain had started again, a slow drizzle tapping against the pavement. Imani walked out, her hand instinctively resting on her stomach. But the story doesn't end there. Oh no, it was only beginning. The next day, Imani stayed at her cousin's apartment, a cramped one-room space with peeling walls and the faint smell of kerosene from a stove that never cooled. She cried herself to sleep that night, wondering how everything had gone so wrong. But somewhere deep inside her, a spark of determination flickered. If Michael thought he could throw her away like an unwanted thing, he was wrong. Weeks passed. Michael moved on quickly, too quickly. Whispers in the neighborhood claimed he was already seeing another woman, a wealthy banker named Sandra. But then something strange began to happen. At night, Michael would hear soft knocks on his door, but when he opened it, no one would be there. His lights would flicker. The sound of a crying baby would echo faintly in the corners of his room. At first, he told himself it was stress. But the nights grew longer, and the sounds grew louder. Meanwhile, Imani was finding her own strength. She got a small job at a tailoring shop, stitching dresses late into the night. The baby was coming, and she was determined to give her child a life worth living. Still, she could not shake the bitterness in her heart. One evening, she received a call from Michael's younger brother, Chuck. His voice was urgent. "Imani, Michael isn't well. He's seeing things. Talking about a baby that won't stop crying." She almost hung up, thinking it was just another one of his games. But curiosity won. When she saw Michael again, he looked different. His once proud posture was gone. His eyes were red, his hands trembling. "I can't sleep," he whispered. "Every night. I see you. Holding the baby. Staring at me." Imani froze. "Michael. I'm still pregnant. The baby's not even born yet." But Michael swore on his life that the visions were real. And deep inside, Imani began to wonder, was something or someone trying to punish him? The months rolled by, and the city's gossip only grew. Sandra left Michael after claiming she saw a shadow in his apartment that whispered her name. Michael's business deals began to collapse one after another. Some said it was karma. Others said it was something far darker. And then, the night of the birth arrived. Imani was in the small hospital ward, sweat pouring down her face, gripping the sheets as the cries of labor filled the room. Michael wasn't there. But when the baby finally came into the world, a boy with eyes too deep for his small face, a sudden wind swept through the room. The lights flickered. And for a moment, Imani swore she heard a man's voice whisper, "Now he will see." From that day, Michael's life unraveled completely. Everywhere he went, he heard the sound of tiny footsteps behind him. Every reflection showed a woman holding a child, a woman with Imani's face. People began to avoid him, crossing the street when they saw him. He became a shadow of himself, trapped in a punishment only he could see. But here's where the twist comes. Months later, Imani discovered something shocking. Michael's mother had done a ritual years ago, a ritual to protect her son from bad women who would trap him with children. But the ritual had a price. It didn't just keep Michael from settling down, it cursed him to be haunted by the spirit of every child he abandoned. And now, Imani's baby was part of that curse. The final time Imani saw Michael, he was sitting alone on a bench by the roadside. His clothes were dirty, his eyes vacant. When he noticed her, he smiled faintly and whispered, "Tell him. I'm sorry." She didn't know if he was speaking to her or to the child. But as she walked away, she felt the weight in her chest finally lift. Michael disappeared from the city soon after. Some say he left for the village to seek a powerful priest. Others say the shadows finally claimed him. As for Imani, she raised her son with the quiet strength of a woman who had faced the storm and survived. And every time she looked into his eyes, she saw not just the pain of the past, but the unshakable promise of a brighter future. And that is how betrayal can turn into a curse. And how love, once broken, can still give birth to something worth fighting for.